I'm muted on stream. Damn it. Hello stream.
Again.
Hello world. Welcome to the second Sunday evening / morning for Kellen installment of me pointing the camera and Kellen telling me what the hell is going on. We're going to see best of 5 between MbL and Clemensor in the Deathmatch World Cup. It's going to be the same settings as the match involving Clemensor that took place last week, if any of you guys saw that. Players are already here and eager to start since they've headed into the game already.
Yeah, these games are probably going to be super close. I mean, last week with Winchester versus Clemensor, those were great games. They were all so super close. So I can expect it's probably about the same for these two, considering the score between MbL and Vinch was also super close.
Yeah, like Clemensor should have forced a game 5 against Winchester, and then MbL went down 3-2 to Winchester. So that does indeed suggest that they're going to be so close.
Look at that, a Dark Age start.
DM pros at the best. I was looking at it, trying to figure out like what's going on, and then I looked at the TC and I was like, ah. I was watching on Tato's stream earlier, like they were trying to play DM on Bedouins, and they first of all they forgot to do Explored, and then they the second time they forgot to do DM. So let's hope they get it right in the second attempt. But do you have a favourite, just like a slight favourite in the series, or do you have any kind of thoughts on how the matchup might play out?
Well, and I think MbL is probably the stronger player, but Clemensor, he's been like practicing a lot with like me and a few other Quendi players, and I think he's probably more prepared for these matches. So I might even give the edge to Clemensor actually.
Yeah,
especially considering how he played against Winchester last week. That was really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is like the main thing he does now. He plays it more than random map, like he's transitioned to it, and I think for MbL, like he's got a lot of natural talent and a lot of speed, and brings that over to DM, and it translates pretty well, but doesn't necessarily practice it as much. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Basically, I think if the games go late, they'll be definitely in favor of MbL. You know, being a top RM player, obviously it's going to be a late game.
Your mic is kind of completely cutting up and lagging then. Didn't hear much of that, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't hear a word of that. Let's maybe see if there's anything that can be fixed, or just keep trying your end. Just looking at the builds from each player, MbL has dropped like 10 stables and a market straight away. Let's see what Clem is doing.
Is that better now?
No, well, I heard is that better now, but it's still very kind of laggy and disrupted.
Can't really fix it.
Yeah. Assuming the stream's alright on my end, then just to make sure of that, but it kind of looks okay on my phone. Yeah, Clemensor going with more of a mixed opening, lots of barracks, lots of stables, lots of archery ranges, so pretty standard like Hun's GA composition. But MbL initially dropped so many stables, looks like he wants to go super heavy on Paladin straight away.
Yeah, I think MbL, he's doing something of like a Christian strategy. He likes to go like all stables with the market, and it can kind of surprise you. And if it has that surprise effect on Clemensor, it could definitely win this. But it's very all in.
Yeah. Just to reassure you.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, just to reassure you, it's so much better now. It's perfect.
All right, good.
Had me panic for a second that I was going to have to solo cast this. Yeah, Clemensor seems to be just kind of staging just on this hill outside of his base. He's actually got some nice hills to defend and control MbL's access into his map there.
Yeah, basically Clemensor just has to like hold for these first few minutes. This is going to be really hard to hold all those paladins, but if he manages to do it, MbL won't have much left after that. But basically, Clemensor should not be trying to attack.
Which he is indeed doing, actually sending a ton of halbs, some paladins across the map. And I don't know, I feel like that engagement can still go quite well because he's actually got more military but in MbL's base right now than MbL has attacking Clemensor.
Yeah, he's actually pretty lucky that MbL's like focusing so much on destroying that castle on the right. That's kind of a waste of time. And I think Clemensor knows that.
I'm not sure if that got deleted then. It got super low on HP, like less than 100 HP before it disappeared. It's hard to see. I think it may just have been, but Clemensor left that to the last possible moment. So Clem has actually maintained decent population and army size lead throughout all of this. It's not like massive, but it's something at least.
Yeah. I think this is definitely going in favor of Clemensor. The longer this game goes right now, the much bigger chances Clemensor has at winning.
I mean, MbL invested in so many paladins that have been kind of out to the side. Like, okay, they're taking down that castle on the right hand side, but he's got a huge ball of paladins that are basically not really been doing anything for a couple of minutes now, while Clem's been taking decent fights outside MbL's base.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad Clemensor went back with his HCA right here. MbL had a nice move to try to trap them, but didn't work out. And things are looking really up for Clemensor right now.
He's also doing a lot better in terms of map control as well. I mean, he's almost pushed out with some forward building right over to MbL's side of the base, but getting important castles in the middle of the map, taking control of hills, golds and stuff like that, whereas MbL is a bit more compact, a bit more penned into the top corner.
Yeah, that strategy MbL used, it was just so all in, and it's already kind of lost its advantage. Yeah, it doesn't look very good for him at all at this point. For him to come back in this game, MbL is going to need to probably make some heavy cavalry archers, try to mine some gold, use a lot of castles, and just hold for a little while until he gets a big eco going. He might be able to win a late game if he were to do that. However, he's making skirmishers, which is something you never want to do early on in the DM Huns War.
Yeah, I think I've watched him playing DM on his stream a little bit. I've seen him making skirms a lot earlier than I've ever seen previously. It seems to be something he likes to do.
It could work out, I guess, if you eco really fast, and it does look like MbL is already well ahead on farming and everything. However, that also makes your population smaller in terms of army size.
Yeah, he's definitely doing a good job at getting ahead in eco on this. So, like you say, if he's able to drag it out with a bigger eco, he's making progress towards that.
Clemensor, though, still just has such nice resources, really good gold income coming in. He's just flooding the army. I just can't see him losing at this point.
Yeah. Looks like MbL, could he keep this castle alive? If that castle doesn't fall, that's on 89 HP. One more ram hit would have done it. Clem still has some siege rams there that might do it. But if that castle falls, then that's kind of opening a gateway to MbL's main goal, pretty much.
Yep.
So pretty important from a strategic.
He's got a new castle up there, though.
Ah, yes.
That castle is still alive, miraculously.
58 HP. It's gonna get killed by a halberdier or something, destroyed by a halberdier in a moment. I know, here we go. Siege rams are going to do it, and Clem's actually got tons of siege rams here now, and MbL with probably enough paladins to do it.
Nice little raid from Clemensor on the right, taking care of that gold mine. And look at MbL's resources, just at the limit.
Yeah, no food now. More or less out of gold as well. So, despite booming up a little bit more, it's not translated into having more economy on more army on the field,
right?
And resources in the bank, because the population difference now is getting pretty drastic. Almost 3 times the army for Clemensor, and that Treb together with the siege rams will finish off that castle. And now MbL's main goal is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, this is This is GG.
GG. Yeah,
Any
exactly
second. All right.
as you said it. The expertise. Okay then, so all-in strategy for MbL, like differing approaches. Heavy paladins not really employed to maximum effect because, like you said, they got a bit distracted on the right hand side and then came home. Clem playing a bit more standard composition and executing well and winning it comfortably in the end.
I'm just testing you, MbL says.
Really? Oh my god, River, that's pretty insulting, isn't it? Was this the first Hun War game from MbL? So, any thoughts as to what MbL's home map? I mean, we thought he favoured Huns, but he's just... admittedly, like, he did a different strategy, so perhaps he could play more standard next time and see how that goes. But, like, we'd have thought that, like, Huns GA would be MbL's strong point, and he may be thinking differently now, do you think?
Yeah, I think, personally, if I were MbL, I would think I would play, like, something like Britons. I mean, something slow where like the later game will definitely be in my favor, but I think MbL pretty much will stick with Huns. I think he's still confident that he'll win. He probably views Clemensor as being sort of like a noob, and that's gonna work in like as a disadvantage for him.
Alright, so moving at a pretty frantic pace because we're into the second game already.
And Huns again.
Yep, we see exactly the same thing. The only difference seems to be that the players have changed colour.
Yep.
Have some sort of difference. So let's
Look
see
how much more efficient that start is from Clemensor. He's well ahead on stable production.
Yeah, I mean, looking at, like, I'm on MbL's point of view. Oh, hang on, it's just that it had glitched out a little bit. I couldn't see all of MbL's building foundations, but yeah. I think the points of view on my like spectator are actually reversed, which is confusing me. But anyway, you're right. Like Clem just
well ahead on him, yeah. Oh, and he takes a villager. MbL lost a villager. Oh, and it looks like Clemensor did too. Oops. Yeah. Alright. So both players lost a villager. I would say Clemensor... yeah, Clemensor definitely has a better start, but both of them don't have like the most perfect start. It seems like Voobly just crashed.
Oh, really?
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Was there a password on the room? No, there wasn't. You'll be fine. Clem did try and do some early reading with Paladin's not really picking anything else up, and now he's got a mass outside his base, looking pretty similar to the last game. Kind of even composition, mix of archery range, stables, barracks, and therefore halves, Paladin CA. Camping outside his base and massing up. Like Clem seems to be a player who's always very focused on getting that population up early.
Right. Okay, I'm back in the game. It would seem, let's see, MbL is doing like a 4 stable, 4 barrack, 7 archer range strategy, whereas Clemensor is doing a 6 barrack, 6 archer range, and 4 stable strategy, or 5 stable strategy actually. The 5 stable should make it where Clemensor could win an early fight, especially if he has a pop lead. So this fight here should go in favor of Clemensor if he wants the strategy to work for him.
Yeah, he's actually managing to make a little bit of use of that hill quite effectively there. I mean, he almost had no right to actually take some of that elevated ground, but had his CA on there quite nicely. And now we see a really big fight coming in, and it's like Clem's CA getting really whittled down there.
That's true.
But
at the same time, though, Clem has a nice pop lead, and he's already going on 4 castles and siege workshops there. So far, I'd say this is definitely in favor of Clemensor again.
Yeah, it is a pretty similar thing where like Clem kind of masses up a little bit better at the start, makes the like best of the first initial engagement, and then starts forward building behind it, and then the Rams start to come out. Similar kind of thing.
Oh man, this battle is just getting better and better for Clem too.
Yeah.
The fact that his HCA are all on that hill, they're doing massive damage.
Yeah, it's gone so well for Clem. Like MbL's numbers just tumbling absolutely dramatically. This is not sure what Mem means by testing again there.
The game before, MbL said I was just testing you.
Oh, yeah, I remember now. Providing a weaker test this time, Clem is just rampaging through his forward buildings, and okay, that's just a tiny little freeze. Yeah, I don't really see any way for MbL to get rid of those siege rams now, because like MbL is just so heavy CA oriented in his composition. There's very few halves of paladins to do any real damage to that ram train, which is just getting bigger and bigger, and Clem is just going to roll through him now.
Yep. Wow, this is shocking. Clem is just bringing heat today. Wow.
What do you reckon Clem's home map's going to be then?
Yeah.
I mean, he did use double Arabia last week, but that was after having lost the first Hun War versus Winchester, rather than winning too quickly and decisively here.
Right.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Wow, what a smashing.
10:04 to demolish MbL.
Yeah, that wasn't even a 10-minute game. Wow. Clemensor is just no mercy today. That is amazing.
MbL, not sure why my buildings don't produce.
Yeah. Wow, that was great.
Well, in some ways, I hope, even though like I would be supporting and be biased towards Clem in this matchup, I hope he doesn't pick J Huns and just roll it again, because it's gone a bit too quickly. Had the stream online for 15-20 minutes before the matches started, and the matches themselves will take less time than the build-up.
I'll be right back.
So spectator delay just started to count down, moving at double speed, so we'll be into the game in like 30 seconds or less probably by now. Gotta be so interesting to see if Clem does actually go with the GA Huns.
Alright, I'm back.
It's almost gloating to pick your opponent's home map as your own home map after taking it like that.
So far, we're only 17 minutes into this match, and we already see a 2-0. It's amazing.
So, Turks War.
Welcome to DM. Oh, Turks War. Yeah, I guess Clemensor's probably feeling pretty confident after his win on Winchester last week.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying last time that he was doing some Turks War preparation in expectation that Winchester would pick it. He did, and then Clem actually won it really decisively.
Handily. Yeah. And look at that. MbL making castle start. That's risky at best.
1, 2, 3, 4 castles. It's going to take so long to get production going, because obviously the build time with this so few villages is horrendous. He's going to luck to defend with a few camels. But yeah, Clem is going to take a massive early pop lead with this.
Gonna boil down to how fast Clem gets on Rams. He should be making Rams already right now, seeing that MbL making the castles. I'd be like straight on the Rams already.
Yeah, he's it all. Clem actually selling tons of stuff as well there. So we didn't see MbL go with the market, did we? So
yeah, Clem is definitely doing a very market-oriented Turk strategy. So basically in Turks you have the two types of strategies. The first is usually going about 5 or 6 stables and then castles with rams, sort of like MbL is doing, but not necessarily in that order. And then the other typical strategy in Turks is to go heavy on a market with the heavy cavalry archers and camels.
yeah, we saw little Clem do that last week, didn't we? Where I can't remember if he did market, but yeah,
he did.
He did do the like heavy camel CA approach versus Winchester, trying to do a little bit more defensive, and then the Janissary transition. And Clem just going with the rams. And I think with like MbL being like going with that castle start, it's made him so slow to get moving that Clem's like recognised that and pushed out right across the map already. Like he's already got that great position in the middle, like starting to take a hill. He's built up a like building presence in front of 2 forward gold, so he's claimed those.
For Clemensor's sake, I hope he's very, very like patient right now. If he goes in too early, he'll lose the fight. He needs to wait till he has, maybe 15, 20 rams, and then he'll definitely win. But he just has to wait, and he's not going to wait.
Yeah, 2 rams straying up forward already. Just
he's gonna see a lot of losses from his camels here.
oh my god. That's pretty much, I would assume, just unit AI making them stray towards the castles. He can't possibly have wanted to push into all this with 2 rams. And MbL's got a really nice position just to the north of where the fight is taking place. Got, like when the rams get close to bombard cannons on the hill, if they're kind of microed to target the rams, are just going to be dealing so much damage.
Yeah, and so far this is going fairly well for MbL. I'm not sure how well Clemensor is going to be able to keep up this push. He needs to be creating more rams. It looks like he only has 1 Siege Workshop actually creating rams. The treads are kind of nice. Usually I never make any treads with a Turk war, but this might be a good idea considering MbL has so many bombard cannons.
Yeah, I mean, the kill to death ratio massively skewed in favour of MbL. Clemensor taking tons of losses of gold units there, but he has at least taken down 3 castles and has a decent chance of potentially taking a 4th with those trebs sitting behind.
If he could get a hold of those bombard cannons, that'd be so key to winning this game for him. It looks like he took 1 there. Those Janissaries are in trouble.
Yeah, CA can just run through those so quickly when they get caught out like that. Trebs unpacking for Clem. That castle looks like it may...
It'll probably fall.
Yeah, definitely now. 1 more volley. So MbL down to 3 castles now. Having played so much for the Janissary strat.
Clemensor just needs to keep making rams. If he stops making rams, that's what MbL needs.
Well, at least this game has gone longer than the 2 previous ones.
Yeah, for sure. Clemensor even made one of those regular skirmishers. I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
So who would you say is in the best position now? Because obviously it's kind of stabilised a little bit. The population's looking roughly similar.
This is one of those times where a lot of new players at DM will make a lot of mistakes because they don't realize the advantages they've kind of won. If you look at Clemensor, he is controlling the main gold from MbL. If he just hangs on to that and just make it where MbL can't mine his own main gold, then he has the game in the bag. He just needs to play a lot more patient at this point, is what I think. And it looks like Clemensor is sort of doing that. I just hope that he continues to do it rather than, trying to be a little too aggressive.
Some viewer called Clemensor Cleminator.
The Cleminator.
He'll change his name now.
I love that. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, you're totally right in the map control. If we look in this area of 2 forward goals that Clem had, I mean they're pretty much right in the middle of the map or close to, and Clemensor's got so much stuff in front of that now. Even his forward goals are going to be pretty much untouched for a long time to come, even if MbL starts pushing back, whereas MbL not even able to access that main goal. See MbL trying to make a kind of concerted push out now, but being rebuffed by Clemensor, who's started to add in more bombard cannons of his own now, which enables him to try and snipe down some of MbL's, potentially snipe down the Janissary. It's actually even picking up the gold miners that are running out to get that gold as well. I presume
some
nice
that was shots there by MbL.
Yeah, taking down most of Clem's cannons in quick order there.
Clem is managing to keep him off that gold though, and still sniping some more bombard cannons.
Yeah, I'll just change.
Look at MbL's gold. It's very, very low.
Yeah, just as you were saying that, I changed his point of view for the first time just to try and see what's going on with him. And yeah, decent amount of resources other than gold, but so gold starved. And I assume all those villagers that ran out to the main gold got killed for doing so because they'd finished like his second or third gold and then were just moving over there. Whereas Clem, sitting on quite low on food, but 3,500 gold in the bank, which is so important in Turk's War.
Oh yeah.
It looks like Clem's even going to try and do a little sneaky split push from the top of the map as well.
I think he basically wants to keep him off of the map. It's also a nice confidence booster, but you know that you've got your enemies surrounded like this. And Clemensor, you know, he's got some idle villagers, quite a few of idle villagers. If he were just to stick all those on wood right now, that would be really effective. And I think Clemensor is reading the game maybe a little bit in the wrong way. He should be trying to keep MbL off of that main gold. Instead, it looks like he's focused more on trying to eliminate his food income.
Yeah, like MbL making that big push out there, and Clemensor's army just going completely missing, and it's lost that forward castle, and thus the protection on those 2 forward golds and this forward area of his economy. Power building 2 castles as quickly as he can to try and deal with that, but not bringing his army back. And it's a little bit kind of base tradey at the moment. Yeah.
Personally, I really don't like this move by Clemensor, but it could work out for him so long as he makes some rams or something to deal with that forward push of MbL's. Because I really don't think he will win the fight with MbL on the hill right there. I don't know, he might, I guess, with the rams, but those bombard cannons are going to do their damage.
Using Treb's to pretty good effect though still. But both of those power built castles that Clem threw up to protect that forward area are going to go down now, and that will mean that MbL is like at Clem's doorstep of his main base essentially, although curiously Clem's economy isn't there. It's everywhere but there.
And if you look at the populations now, MbL with a nice lead.
So all of those CA have kind of abandoned their push in the north and now coming back to deal with the main push by MbL in the middle, but after he's taken so many losses and just been pushed so far back, he's gone from having all the map control to being scrapping at the edge of his base.
I think Clemensor is a little bit in panic mode right now. I see villagers, a lot of them idle. Not looking good for Clemensor.
Yeah, he's only got like 45 villagers working at this point. 0 food, 0
And
gold, and GG.
G called.
So, potentially like a game that he had a stranglehold on, that he's then allowed his opponent to come back. Similar kind of story to the final game against Winchester this week, but fortunately for him, he's done that in a position where he's already leading 2-0. So, not as potentially meaningful as the throw, if you like, against Winchester last week.
MbL.
Go on, sorry.
MbL acting like he's a little bit frustrated.
Why am I even playing this tourney? Oh my god, yeah. Kill to death ratio massively in favour of MbL in that game. So game 4, that's going to be a Celts War in the map pack. Last week we had Gold Rush. There's about 6 or 7 in the map pack. Some of them also appear as home maps, so have to see what we're going to get.
You know, MbL has actually won a fair amount of decent games against like top DMers, so like he's very good at DM. He's very capable in it. It's just Clemensor came prepared. On top of that, I think Clemensor is very, very underrated, especially right now after he, finished a lot of practice with me and JB, which is Quendy Leaf. Quendy Leaf is kind of teaching him right now. And he definitely has the same kind of style as JB. JB doesn't really like the eco very much. JB will tell you, I'm not religious, so he never really goes for the relics.
Oh my god.
Like, he's kind of funny like that, but he tends to win games being extremely aggressive with a really nice start, and Clemensor sort of mirrors that.
Alright, so we have that Celts War on Gold Rush, so same as last week. MbL once again going with 3 castles that he's... okay, they're not like amongst the very first buildings that he's going to create, but he's planning to move on and put those 3 castles right at the front of his base soon afterwards. Clem unable to pick a villager. MbL going with more with barracks to start off with, whereas Clem favoured tasking to stables straight away, getting a couple of paladins out, but he's not going to raid with them at the moment.
Yes.
And MbL moving out to the front of his base, trying to get those castles down now. Not really like far enough forward to be that impactful in terms of controlling the main gold, which actually is much closer to Clemensor. And just looking at the middle area, like Clemensor has, first of all, much easier access to the closest golds to him, but also some really nice hills, like that one in the north that he's already putting a castle on will enable him to have some control over at least the top half of the middle area, and he can probably use that to gain control of this second hill further down as well. But MbL going with lots of champions, which is kind of an interesting approach to see those coming out straight away. Is that very common?
No, doing champions at the start. I mean, you can make champions at the start, but what MbL's doing is it's not very good. On top of that, it's really bad for this map in particular because he's gonna run out of food. You want to be really gold heavy. Yeah, he's gonna lose a lot of his food army right here. I'd say already early advantage for Clemensor.
Really doesn't take many heavy scorpions, just wipe out a whole bunch of champs and halbs, and Clem's looking pretty good there. Could get a really nice SO shot here though, or 2. A whole bunch of heavy scorpions.
Well, that's the funny thing about Celts. The Celts, they have those higher HP siege units, so then therefore the Scorpions don't really die so much to the siege onagers like any other war. So a lot of times Scorpions will actually work pretty well for Celts, sorry. I always say it like the NBA team.
Yeah, I think we had this last week, didn't we? Bust the Celtics.
Yeah.
So both players got kind of opposing hills now. Clem with a couple of trebs to start laying siege already, which is going to be the difference. And still, like, we haven't seen MbL going like down that heavy Scorpion route at all. It's just SO and infantry.
Yep. And I would say that's going to work in his like a disadvantage so far. However, MbL still has a lot of resources, which is nice for him. I would almost say Clemensor should consider selling something.
Yeah, already out of gold. That's just such a drastic difference between the two players. But look at MbL's population. He's got 16 military.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Dude, you've got 20,000 resources, make some units.
Yeah.
He's going to pick up a bunch of Clem's trebs, but that doesn't really make a difference when he can just come forward with more because MbL has no army.
I do like that Clemensor is kind of spread around the map.
Yeah.
MbL is going to run out of food so much earlier than Clemensor will.
Yeah, so even Clem's got like 1 or 2 woads that he's had in the bottom of MbL's base as well, just idling like 10 villagers doing some work of raiding there. Pretty nice.
Look at those rams. Those rams are going to do so much damage right here. Destroying the treb, destroying those onagers.
Castle is gonna go. No! Survives.
No, castle's okay. Yeah.
But MbL is definitely losing ground here. He's only got access to one of the gold piles in the middle, and even that is in her hotly contested area. Whereas Clem doesn't have many villagers in the middle, but
he's got a nice little attack going in the back of his base. He might even like kind of house MbL a little bit. I think MbL is not worried about that though. But
well, he's still got 10 a ridiculous number of castles, so it'd be hard to house him. But like, if you know, it's a good split push. Trying to avert MbL's attention. And look where MbL's doing farming, right in the middle of his ring of castles.
Yeah.
That's the net effect of that push in the back of his base. Instead of it being gold rush, it's farm rush. Just farm the middle.
Yeah, just going so heavy on the champions at the start, and then now Woad Raiders. He's just gonna have a lot of hard time with food. Yeah, it could work on some maps, but this map with the gold, you just want to go really heavy on the gold units.
Oh, cheers, Tattoo, for the host. Game's kind of calmed down a little bit now. MbL actually taking the lead in terms of military numbers, but having no food to really make anything more, like you say. Whereas Clem's economy's looking pretty decent as now. It's kind of hurting for wood, which is really important when you're Celts, but good amount of food and gold still to potentially make woads.
I would almost just go Paladin if I were... Yeah, actually I would go Paladin if I were Clemensor. The Cleminator. Usually Paladins is like only an early game thing for Celt, or Celt, but at this stage though, I would probably be trying to sense that MbL has absolutely no food. And he really has no food. But look how many onagers he has. It's just like, holy crap.
I love that cheeky SO destruction of MbL's mining camp to like cut the efficiency of that gold mine in half. It just seems kind of innocuous destroying a mining camp, but it was pretty nice. Both players just kind of pausing. Probing it out. We could just...
Well, I think if for Clemensor this is a decent advantage. I think. And you look at Clemensor's population; everything is kind of in his favor. So long as he just plays smooth right here, doesn't do anything too crazy, probably gets a little bit of farm going. That'd be really good for him.
Yeah, Clem was actually poised to do such a nice raid with roads in MbL's base then, but unfortunately he's just run straight through and alerted MbL to it, and MbL was completely garrisoned. He could have picked up 10-15 villagers there. Looks like he's
Not sure what MbL's doing. Wasting woes when he has no food.
Yeah, going under 3 castles on hills like that.
Decent raid here by Clemensor, like you were talking about. It actually worked out a little bit for him.
Yeah, he found a different target. MbL's forward farms.
Yeah. Nice little raid there on the left side of the MbL's base would be so effective.
My God,
man, MbL just tons of them. Oh, those rams could do damage. Oh, here comes the woads. MbL doing some attack around.
Yeah. As much as I'm biased in favor of Clem, like I'd still love to see like all his stuff getting wiped out by it.
This could be good for Clem. Could be good for Clem, but his woads are not doing anything. Oh, come on. Alright, that still worked out for Clem. Look how many onagers. Oh, man. Died. And good raid in the back by Clem.
Yeah, that TC, like he's had a couple of roads parked under there over and over again in this game. Just idling that TC all the time, about 10 villagers each time. Looking at resources for MbL, he has nothing. Like he's got 2,000 gold, but he's got nothing else to go with it to make stuff. 2,000 gold, 35 food and 5 wood. Like, where is he even gathering wood? Like, is he gathering wood anywhere? He's got 1 lumberjack. In a Celt War, MbL has 5 wood and 1 lumberjack. What the hell?
Yeah.
Whereas Clem, pretty decent, like, you know, 20 or 30 of each type of resource gatherer. And sitting on a...
Oh, nice shot by Clem there.
Oh, yeah, on the hill. But even so, like you say, with the Celts, Siege Onagers, like there was even one on the hill there that fired down and hit another Siege Onager that was downhill and didn't take it out.
Yeah.
The HP bonus tanks the hill bonus.
It looks like on resources they're about even, except for MbL has a lot more gold. However, Clemensor still has the lead in terms of population.
Actually 15 more villagers. Let's just take a look at his base. It's like got a decent amount of farmland. Wood gathering operation is actually underway, unlike MbL as well.
The only thing is MbL is just so open for raiding. And Clemensor is doing some raiding with even a Siege Onager. It's a very unique way to raid. But hey, he'll take anything at this point.
So Clem got that castle up in the middle, and then by the time it actually sprung up, it was already on like 10% HP. Just went down straight away. 2 trebs in the middle for MbL doing work. Clem's gonna try and snipe them. Gets one. Gets the other one with his SO.
I might be a little ahead of you then, I suppose.
Yeah, by a second or 2. It's no big deal. It's not worth playing with the speed controls because everything goes crazy then. Like once you touch them, like, people get out of sync.
I gotcha.
Building up towards a 25 to 30 villager lead now, but population staying more or less identical. But the longer this goes on, like Clem has control of more of the golds. Like as long as he holds his position, like, MbL can only safely mine that one really.
Yeah, and I like Clemensor's raiding. I think it's pretty effective. I mean, he's doing just enough to make MbL kind of panic about the back of his base.
Yeah, actually to the extent that he decides to put a castle up there, which...
And he sniped 7 villagers there. That was nice. And the time and villagers are really needed. Oh, but there's a World Raider in the back of Clemensor's base doing a lot of damage, and Clemensor doesn't... Oh, he sees it now.
Yeah. Thankfully
he sees that.
He's
That
on
thing
team with us. I'm wondering about these SOs Clem's got on the right hand side of the map. Like, has he forgot he's made them? Because they're in such an exposed position to just leave them there. Like, a couple of
And
wave raiders.
look at those villagers on the left side. MbL, I don't know what he's trying to do. Completely waste those.
Yeah, I mean, like, there are some perfectly good forests in your base, mate. Like, what are you doing out there?
Yeah. Clemensor's siege onagers just shot like 10 of his own wood raiders just to kill one wood raider of MbL. That was bad. Basically, MbL is spending all of his like energy and resources on trying to like take the sides of the map. I don't think he realizes that that is not the important thing to do right now. He's gonna run out of that gold mine and then just not be able to mine any gold. He's gonna be stuck. I just see, I guess his gold is really high, so I think he's probably not worried about it.
He's just like used the market quite extensively. Bought about 2k gold's worth of other resources. But that's not gonna last long. Like, you can't continue to buy the market forever.
Right.
And even with this extra castle that he's put up, like, that's constantly on the siege, there's just no way that he can push out to anything other than that one gold pile, which is at least half depleted now. Still, Clem continues to have a better balanced economy and a better resource count. Just gradually besiege MbL as well. Like, MbL had so many more castles like overlooking this area, and now it's just starting to look a little bit less fortified.
Right.
A little bit more vulnerable.
If I were Clemensor, I would almost consider just being really lame and start laming the forest with those siege onagers on the bottom right. Like, if he was really serious about winning this game,
those siege
I would just start laming. But I don't think he'll end up laming. I think he's looking to try to like raid or something like that. MbL still sniping trebuchets.
The thing now, though, is that it's got into a situation where it looks so much more like random map, because although obviously we're playing on fast speed, it's like the kind of balance of villagers, the army counts is much more like a Imperial Age random map game, and everything's kind of slowed down and stabilised. It's not the kind of frantic DM pace, and now
you look at the eco from both. Stage. The eco, even the amount of idols from both players is almost identical.
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh man, if Clemensor takes a couple of nice shots here, he could lay waste those wood raiders. Oh, good shot. Maybe one or two good shots, but overall maybe it could have gone better. It could have gone better for sure. That's okay though. I mean,
but MbL is getting back to a point where he's got like 1-2k of every resource, and he's got 125 vills, and now it gets very, very dangerous for Clemensor as the weaker random map player.
I don't know though. Clemensor has the gold mines. That is such a big key.
It is true.
And Clemensor has tons of food and wood. Way more than even the Mr. Top Armor does. So basically, Clemensor, he just needs to like mine heavily those golds and just camp this out a little bit. It's trying to snipe away at MbL as much as he can. Those two trebs on the left, he needs to take care of those quick.
Some words going out there to take down those trebs. It's going to be just in time. Oh, there's exo shots forcing them away, and now that castle will more than likely fall.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Clem's hold on the middle is quite flimsy now. Like,
it is a bit flimsy.
Doesn't have many castles. MbL with 9 castles to 3 in the Celt War, and military numbers really dropping, whereas MbL is popped. and gonna be able to really flood Wodes now. Like he's pop capped with 2,500 gold, 2,500 food, 700 gold, 9 castles. Like MbL can just make Wodes endlessly and just destroy Siege and just run all over the map and raid now. I think Clemensor is cooked, I'd have to say.
I don't know, MbL needs to be careful here. He's playing really aggressively, and it seems like he could run out of gold and maybe, I don't know, throw this away a little bit. Clemensor still has a lot of resources. Like if he were to make a bunch of rams, scorpions, he could push it back, but he's not going to try.
Yeah, just for me, like if this was being played on normal speed and I was in Clemensor's position and it was a random map game, like at that point I'd be thinking I was dead. I mean, obviously you can't see MbL's resources, but you can see he's just spamming Wodes, and he's got the view that he's got 9 castles and Clem down to 10 castles in the end, and he's lost his hold on the middle, and MbL's quickly moved forward and fortified it and everything. I think the situation probably would have been so difficult. Like, you're right, he did have a lot of resources to try one last push, but he just wasn't going to try it. Just showing the achievements quickly for the stream, although gold collected 6k more for Clem, but didn't really tell in the end. MbL actually managing to get 11k more food in the end. Like Mem was saying in the in-game chat, like Clem wasn't doing farms until late on, and I think that's really told in these eco stats that we see at the end of the game.
Just to be honest with you though, I think Clemensor could have easily won the game there at the end. If he had just made like 10 scorpions and some Woad Raiders, and because the thing is, MbL was low on gold. MbL was having all of his Woad Raiders mixed within Clemensor's castles. Clemensor had all his resources. If he had just made a push right there with MbL going so all-in-ish at that moment, he could have punished him for it. I thought there was this chance, but I mean, it's hard to see that chance, I guess. But he definitely had that chance.
I guess one thing you could say is that Clem kind of moved away from a army composition that was working so well for him at the start with the Scorpions. Like, we never saw another Scorpion after like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, and that makes sense too, because when you're concentrating all your fight there in the middle, it becomes more of a siege on you're sitting on hills kind of battle.
Yeah, I suppose.
But early on, like Rams, Scorpions, Paladins, with a few like other units mixed in, is definitely the good way to go.
What the hell? Clem says after 5 seconds.
Yeah, that was not a very good There's a huge mountain right in front of MbL's base that controls pretty much the entire game that Clemensor could have easily taken care of.
Yep. Pretty interesting. So, presumably second to this tournament, they have to go back and do a Japanese war now, don't they?
Yeah. And honestly, MbL's really lucky that Clemensor called a re on that. That was MbL's re. If anything, that map was just set up for Clemensor so beautifully. I mean, ordinarily I would say that it's set up for either player just to take that hill, but Clemensor, as we've seen, has been stronger at starts.
So do you think that Reba's just like down to him slightly screwing up his start or something?
No, I think for one, I think he didn't know that. Well, he didn't even know what the Civ was, so I guess he just saw the map and didn't like it. He might be just listening to JB a little too much, being not religious and everything. That map has 12 relics, and I think he feels MbL would be better at managing the relics. I don't know though. Alright, let's see what they get this time.
A lot of relics in the eastern corner.
Oh, I thought it was map pack. Is it just on
Yeah,
gold
it's graveyards.
I mean graveyards. Yeah, sorry. I guess I forget the settings that I helped create.
So it looks pretty even for both players. Like nothing too unfair about the map, which I'm glad to see considering I tried to fix it. But other than relic distribution, a little bit favouring Clem in the east. Clem's raiding scout going down. Let's look at his.
About the same start for both. 5 barracks, 5 archer range for Clemensor. We got 2 barrack and 5 archer range for MbL. I would say the map has a very nice advantage for Clemensor in terms of relic placement. However, gold placement is pretty nice for MbL. Very easy to protect.
Yeah.
You know, one short wall there, the left would protect that entire corner.
Yeah, and then he's got this big hill to the right of his base, which kind of controls 3 more golds as well. So you can have basically 5 safe golds just with 1 wall, and then fortifying that hill to the east. So what's a kind of typical Japanese composition? Is it the one we're seeing?
Yeah, this is very typical for both. Usually you go a couple more barracks than MbL did, but MbL is actually doing a start that Priest used to always do. Priest used to do this almost exact start that MbL is doing.
Yes.
So Clemensor, you should put a castle in these hills here in the middle, like where his army is right now should be a castle, and then to the right of that on that other hill should be another castle. That sneaky little army coming in off the side, that's going to be really nice. Pick off a couple villagers.
Might even potentially deny no, the obelisk should clean that up. But it's going to deny a castle on like 90%. Clem putting the castle right where you wanted to see it then.
He needs to get castles. Castle's going quick. Not castles, trebuchet is going quick for both of them. And it looks like MbL is far ahead on that category.
Yeah. And I've just realised that they're obviously starting with their Catapulto researched already, which makes those trebuchets pretty disgusting.
Yep.
MbL actually going to lose quite a number of trebs to those onagers, but taking a much better fight at the start overall. Like up to now, kill to death ratio heavily in favour of him. But Clem's doing so much better at increasing population, relying on his strong starting skills.
Clem is already taking the relics too, which is nice. If I were Clem, I would not even be making any more arbs. I'd be going just almost pure onagers with like some skirmisher. But yeah, if Clemensor can keep managing to take all these relics, he's already up to what, 4? Yeah, he's got 4 relics already. He's going for a 5th that I could see. So if he gets 6, then it's at least a tie on relics. And it looks like he'll have... let's see... He's gonna have his 5th there coming in now, then he's gonna have the 2 in front of his base, the 3 in front of his base, and possibly a 4th down there. So he can have 9 to 3 relic advantage. That's a 5 relic, or a 6 relic advantage is huge.
Yeah, and MbL could take 3 like almost instantly that are in his base, but he hasn't built a monastery yet, so concentrating fully on the fight.
That castle by Clemensor on the right is asking to get killed.
Oh yeah, the one on the hill. I was looking in the far right corner.
It's a bad placement.
Yeah, it's...
I really like what Clemensor's doing though in the left corner with those samurais. What a nice use of just a few samurais. But yeah, that castle on the right of Clemensor is just gonna go down really fast.
That's probably the fastest I've ever seen a castle go down.
Yeah.
Like, half a dozen Japanese Catapulto, trebuchets, and a whole bunch of samurai. But I just don't know how Clemensor has those 3 samurai in the left-hand corner. I mean, MbL did the wall. He must have snuck those through pretty early.
This could be
these
good
are
for
so
Clemensor actually.
Normal onagers shots.
Oh man, that looked like a good fight for MbL until those onagers rolled in.
Yeah, but even so, I thought MbL could have lost so much more. I expect to see so many more of those arms dying. But MbL did start to take an army lead, and that has been reversed in that one moment. And so many trebs could go down if both of those onagers had fired like into the middle of the trebs then.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a missed opportunity for Clem.
So much like multitasking going on for this guy. I mean, trying to take the relics, he's going all around the map. He's working hard.
Yeah, he's still taking another relic in the middle, yeah.
He's about to have 9 relics. Phenomenal.
Yeah. And he needs them because he's kind of like starting to run low on gold compared to MbL. At least he's not floating such a big bank. MbL getting a tiny little bit ahead in villagers and booming, but it's not really decisive at this point.
Yeah, this game gets kind of easy though for Clem having 9 relics. I mean, so long as he just he doesn't even need very much of a food eco. He could just boom wood eco, go really hard on arbs with onager, and that would probably be enough with a few trebs. I think that's kind of what Clemensor was going to do here.
And MbL still hasn't taken the 3 relics that are literally within a screen of his starting TC. So that's Clem.
Clemensor's gonna lose another castle here though. Clemensor only has, what, 1 more castle? 2 more left after that. That's bad for Clemensor, but Clemensor should just take a fight right here is what I want to say. I would just take a kind of a spread fight part of my army in the middle and another come around the edge.
Okay,
I think that could do a phenomenal amount of damage.
Is that in the DN playbook? A couple of random keeps.
Definitely not.
Yes.
And even forward lumber camps. It's fun watching RMs play DM.
Yeah, sometimes they do some unique things for sure. Oh, come on, Clem, use your army.
Yeah, all of this stuff idle in the top left, whilst all of his onagers go down, and that's really tough because he MbL's just start wasting the front of his base, and that, if he tries to stop that from happening, he's got no siege at all. If there's, or even the trebs firing into the arbs, but now all the onagers and Clem's entire army is about to be dead. Oh my god.
It's an okay fight for Clem. He's gonna take care of the...
Yeah, the champs did well in the front.
Yeah, and Clemensor has just a phenomenal amount of resources. those relics are just raking it in for him.
You know,
9 relics, for God's sake. I've never had 9 relics. Even the games I've played of practice of this, I've never managed to get 9. I got like 8 a couple times. Okay, I'm starting to like Clem here. He's even opened up the wall on the left. He made it his own tower. These guys love keeps, I guess.
Yeah, MbL's presence has just kind of disappeared. Like on the front, he's not really got anything there anymore. Just a little bit, like the same as Clem. And then vulnerable to the raiding on the left. Clemensor 100 food, whereas MbL has 7,500. And gold is good for MbL as well. Also woods, like he's got so many resources that a little bit of raiding, as long as he reacts to it, eventually won't be disastrous here. Clem has 0 food.
That's fine though. You just keep making wood units.
He has 1 lumberjack.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Putting it mildly. In fact, he's only got 9 villages or 10 villages like working on stuff that isn't gold. And with 9 relics and a lot of gold miners, he can use the market for some time, at least until the prices get awful. But MbL's built a forward market, and so maybe he sold some stuff and is crashing the prices. MbL resealed the hole on the left. Like, it's hard to tell just how much stuff actually died there, because obviously with it being graveyards there's skeletons everywhere, but it seems like MbL's like refilled most of those farms with workers, cut out the raiding on the left. Clem's still got good control of extra golds on the right hand side, but doing okay in the middle as well actually.
I just keep like arguing with these guys like Clemensor has chances.
I mean, MbL is actually doing skirms now, which is when your opponent's...
It's not that bad of an idea, really.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose for the arbs it's fine, but as long as the enemy's making some onagers and a few samurai or something like that, then not going to do too much. Obviously helps that they have the hill though. That castle is gonna go down. MbL's still sitting on a decent economy.
Buying. Clemensor did some buying here.
Yeah, MbL just bought a new castle, which he's throwing up a couple of tiles away from the one that went down. And Clem's losing trebs pretty cheaply here.
That's okay. I really think Clem's in an okay position. He just needs to be careful. Like it's kind of Clem's to win. Clem just has to be really slow and precise right now. He doesn't need to do anything crazy. He could even just buy up resources for a little while if he needs to. I mean, look at MbL, no gold. What's he gonna do? He can't really push very easily. And Clem could just buy stuff. Am I the only one who thinks I have faith in Clem?
I think I sit in between your position and the position of some of the spectators. I think relics aside, which could prove to be very decisive, I think like MbL's having the upper hand at the moment, and relics could bring Clem back. But I still feel like MbL's in a better position. And also, like, the longer it goes, always going to favour MbL in that situation, even if Clem does have the relics. There we go. I'm actually calling to G. Feels dead.
Oh god. So much chances for him still, though.
Yes. Never gonna feel good to resign with 5.5k gold in the bank, is it? And he had actually recovered some resources, but I guess, like, could be the psychological thing of having lost so much ground, and MbL's kind of pushing a little bit slowly and half-heartedly, but pushing nonetheless and forcing him back still more, taking down some production facilities. And as I look at...
Oh god. I wish I could have just bit in his shoes just for a second. I mean, I could have turned that around.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I guess it's like, if you see your way back, it's it's a question of experience as well, isn't it? Like being exposed to these situations, perhaps. But the thing is, like, MbL, like, when you get to that kind of post-Imperial Age late stage of the game with him, he's just I've recognised this from watching him play against other like experts in RM, but also like I've had experiences of being in like playing versus him in like a free for all game and stuff like that, where once you get him into the kind of post imperial age, it's like playing against a computer who had like this like insane ability to multitask. It's like just the speed to just absolutely cripple somebody who doesn't have that themselves, like to play against, because you can feel it when you play against him. And
Yep.
I think that there is a kind of psychological effect going on as well with that. I think even if Clem had a way back. But yeah, like Clem missed an opportunity possibly by not going GA Huns in his home map, trying to maybe think, I don't know whether to say out, like think too hard or outthink, but he'd easily won the 2 Hun wars, and he could have claimed the series just by rinse and repeat, because MbL was clearly at a disadvantage there with Clem having the GA Huns start just so nailed down.
Yeah, I think I'm proud of Clemensor. He showed that he has some real talents. He's just lacking experience in a few different little ways. But he has so many of the key points down that it's just like he could see the puzzle. He has some leftover pieces that just need to be put in their spots, and then all of a sudden Clemensor is going to be a very powerful player. It's just matter of just nailing down those few little pieces that are like missing for him. Like that last game that he just played. It's like, MbL had the market, was selling. All Clemensor had to do was spend some of that 6k gold on buying a bunch of like wooden food, do Arbs and Samurai with nine relics. Is just gonna win the game. So it's like there's little things like he could do that he just doesn't know of yet.
Yeah, but overall, really great performance. I mean, 3-1, but probably should have been at least taking Vinchester to a game 5 last week, and then 3-2 against MbL after being on the cusp of winning. Really great performance from him. Sadly, I think that probably ends his chances to go to the next stage, most likely. I mean, like in the upper bracket, in the gold bracket. But he'll be a really strong contender in the silver bracket, won't he?
Are you talking about Clemensor or MbL?
I'm talking about Clemensor, saying like he'll probably have an amazing chance in the silver bracket.
Oh no! It's only the top 2 players who are going to make it out, and so we just basically clinched it for MbL. So MbL and Vinch are the 2 that will be succeeding in that group. Clemensor is pretty much out of the tournament at this point.
Oh right, yeah, I understand. So the top 2 go through to the gold-silver decider. Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, the gold-silver decider is it's just one big bracket of 32 players, and then the first 16 who lose in the first round, they start the silver bracket, and so it's like round of 16 in the silver bracket, and then the previous 16 left in the original bracket then play, and of those will lose. Those 8 that lost now also go back down to the silver bracket, where the silver bracket also will only have 8 players left. So then they have round of 16, round 2.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. And then it's like a round of 16 again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So basically for silver, it's going to go round of 16, followed by another round of 16, and then 8, 4, 2. Whereas the main bracket will go 2 to 16, and then when it's 8 left is when the gold bracket starts.
Yeah. All right. I think that's the reason to end the stream now here. Then I might come back a little bit later. Got to do some work in the meantime, but I might come back in a couple of hours and maybe cast some random map games. But I'm glad this turned into kind of a long and interesting series, and we got to see some more games after we were fearing that the stream would be over in like 20 minutes when Clem was just racing to victories in those Hun wars. But thank you very much for joining me again, Kellen. And it
was my pleasure, man. Hopefully we do more of these. Yep, sounds good, man.
Alright guys, see ya. Yeah, sorry Taff, you only just arrived, unfortunately. You snooze, you lose. Yeah, gonna end the stream here, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in, and look forward to more DM World Cup streaming on VB Official soon. I'm just gonna check if there's any other things booked in on VB channels at the moment. Don't think so, but what I will mention, right, is that in roughly 45 minutes, if you go to RTS League's channel, it's LOS against BYT. That's going to be, I would have thought, casted by Blackadder. You can also watch that in Spanish at twitch.tv/AOC Spain as well. I don't know who's going to be casting that one in Spanish. It's maybe Cambridge or someone. But yeah, RTSL action later, and I may come back if I manage to get enough of my own work done. Cheers, guys.